Hi, I'm Beth with TB Properties Buys Land. In the previous two videos, we've discussed scam offer letters and you as the land seller understanding the process in which the transaction is going to take place. Now, I can't speak for other land investors, but I can speak on behalf of TB Properties Buys Land and explain to you how we work so that you can understand and compare perhaps to another investor and decide whether you want to work with us or not. So the very first video, we discussed that first interaction between us as the investor and you as the seller and the information that we need in order to make you an offer. The second video, we discussed the contract, okay, and what that involves. Now, once the contract has been signed, we will send that to a title company. We're always going to work through title for the safety factor. Okay, so there's a couple ways in which we can send that contract over to title. So the easiest way that we work with most often is an e-sign type option, where we're going to email you a copy of the contract. You review that. If you have any questions, we try to make sure we get those answered before you sign it. We recommend that. But you can go ahead and sign that from the convenience of your phone, your smartphone, a tablet, or a computer. That e-signature is very easy. It captures your IP address. And so it can say that you signed at this time, we signed at this time, and then we email that contract, that e-signed contract over to title, okay? So if you don't have a means of doing that or you don't feel comfortable with that, we can always email it to you and you can print it and sign it. You can scan it and send it back to us. You can print it and sign it and take a picture with your smartphone and email it back to us. Or we've had some people, we had a gentleman ask us to mail it to him. We mailed him a couple of copies of the contract where he was able to sign it. He mailed one copy directly to the title company for us and he kept the other one. It doesn't matter. Whatever is most comfortable for you, we're willing to work with. Okay, but once that is signed, then we send it to title. Title, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to let you know that they've received that. And another important step after that, maybe within 24 hours, they ought to email us back and say, here is your file number. Why is that important? Well, you as the land seller need to have a direct connection to the title company. That way, if you have any questions, you can ask them directly. And it's nice to have that reference number. So they ought to email you. If they don't, one thing I like to do here at TB Properties is just email you that file number just in case. That way you call them up. Hey, title company, this is, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so. I'm calling with reference ABC, file number ABC. I have a question about this. I want to close in person now, or I'm traveling that week. What can we do? So you need to be able to have that direct access to the title company. Okay, so once they have a file number established, we're still in line, okay? We're in queue. They're not going to get to us right away. Depends on how quickly they're moving through files or how slow they are, okay? Or how busy they are. Okay, but the next step is for them to issue forth a title commitment. And this title commitment is a big PDF of information. It's going to tell you all about your property. If you have any, access easements where it's going to tell us that your neighbor has access across a private road from your property to get to their property, or it's going to tell us if there's an utilities easement. If this is inherited land and the property is not in your name, maybe you're getting it taxed in your name, but the deed is not in your name, it's going to tell us what to do so that legally we can convey the property from you to us. Okay, so it's going to say, listen, we're going to need a copy of the probated will. Or it's going to say, listen, we need to know, we need all these heirs to sign off on this. But it will specify what needs to be done in order to close on the property legally and move forward. Okay, so this is the next step. After that, it's picking a closing date. And the closing date should be on that contract already. What we do is we say on or before, so that title company, if they're faster, oftentimes we can close earlier. And we'll just have to know whether you plan to come in and close in person or if you plan to close virtually. So hopefully this explains a few things about the closing process. The next video, I'll try to discuss what closing virtually versus closing in person looks like. And if we can squeeze in funding and the different options you have for funding, I'll discuss that as well. I just want to make sure that you understand all aspects of the closing process and working with the real estate investors so that you can feel comfortable or it might shed some light on some red flags that maybe you weren't feeling real comfortable about, and now you know you need to either, shy away from somebody or you need to ask more questions. So feel free to reach out to us here at TB Properties Buys Land. We pay in cash, we close through title, we buy vacant land. Look forward to hearing back from you. Thanks.